Amy from Team KLEKT, and I'm on a mission. I'm traveling the world to meet the most interesting collectors, creatives, and cultural minds in sneakers and streetwear. Today, we are in Ibiza with Carlos, and trust me, this one is special.
Many people, they don't understand you having 250, 300 boxes stored at home, wasting all your money on sneakers. It's not like a trend or a hobby, it's a lifestyle at the end.
Who are you? What do you do for a living?
I'm Carlos, I'm from Ibiza, Iceland. I work in a paint shop, in a hardware store. All my life it's been surrounded by paint and art. Here in Ibiza, life is quiet. It's winter now, and we're having an interview today with KLEKT team.
Does Ibiza influence your life and your passions?
It's calm and quiet in winter, but in summer it's madness. People in Ibiza is made different. It's more like chill, quiet. On the 70s and 80s, all the hippies arrived and they were welcome. The locals accepted the foreigners. It's always been very multicultural. It's known as a party island, but it has like two faces: beaches, good food, sunsets. That's the part I like. When I was a kid, and as every other kid, you want to be fresh at school, you know. So I was lucky enough that my parents bought me pairs for Christmas, for birthdays, and I remember I had Up-tempos, I had Jordans, RBQs, many of those late 90s models. And then eventually, when I was a teenager, I was introduced to skateboarding by my friend Tony.
Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Tony. It's important to talk about this because if it wasn't for him and skateboarding, maybe I wouldn't be here talking to you and surrounded by all this madness. Skateboarding paved the way to understand the street culture, get introduced also to graffiti, baggy pants, bulky shoes, early 2000s, good memories.
You said that Ibiza is really multicultural. Is there actually like a sneaker scene here?
Not dead, but not alive. There's a few sneaker stores, but I don't like them. I don't like the new stuff. I don't like the prices. So I have to get all my stuff online. My early beginnings was around 2013, 2014. I was able to visit those sneakers events in Madrid. I saw all those full tables full of old shoes. I said, wow, this is pure nostalgia. I don't feel the same watching new pairs, new releases than seeing a table full of OG. It hits different. It's a lifestyle at the end. Yeah. It's not like a trend or a hobby. It's 24/7. For me, sneakers is every day. I wake up and I check the marketplaces. I check the posts of my friends. It's an addiction.
I'm really curious to know, how did you meet KLEKT?
The first time I knew about KLEKT was around 2014. They had a website, a vintage sneaker market, and I remember I bought a few pairs there. And I bought Icarus, I bought Protons. Yeah, I remember that well.
What was your best find on KLEKT?
It was an Icarus, one of these models, not this colorway. I think it was like a forest green with black from 1993.
Was it 2013?
2014, more or less. That was like the very first Icarus I had. It was like the trigger to get interested about this silhouette.
So let's talk about your passion for vintage.
Why vintage? Well, as I told you, I met other people organizing events. It was focused back then on vintage because nowadays all the conventions and events, it's like all new releases, new collections, and it's lost the passion for vintage. Community is small. It doesn't need to get any bigger.
You mostly collect sneakers from the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah, well, also 2000s, but 2000s is like the deadline.
What are your top 5 shoes from that era?
I have them under the table.
Okay.
May I show them or?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so. Well, one of them is this MR5. It's a pair from 1991. It was a Japanese release and it's been in my top 5 since day one. I have to be thankful for it because I got this for very cheap price. They usually go for 300, 350. Dead stock in box, maybe 450. This is an Air Vital, the version of the Pantheon, and this is a Japanese release too. What else do we have here? Well, this is the Air Base. I felt in love when I saw this sneaker. And it's also very hard to get, you know, simple materials, a bit of suede, nylon mesh, and a great colorway combo. Unfortunately, this is a bigger size. If someone has a US 7 for me, I can swap them. This is the Airspan Citron colorway. It's just amazing. The shape, the colorway, technology inside. Because once I did a video dissecting the retro, and this has a big bubble and the retro has like a tiny silicone ball. It's a pity because they don't give us the same quality as back in the 90s. This is one of my favorite pairs from a city from it. Yeah.
Nice.
This is the little sister from the Air Max ST. It's woman's and it's an unicorn. There's a few around there, but you don't get them easily.
You definitely have a taste.
I'm gonna give a special mentions. This is like the silhouette I felt in love the first time, the Air Icarus. This model is what made me start collecting heavy and get it deep into it. For many it's a simple pair, but for me it's what a sneaker should be. Shape, it's comfortable and light. Well, adding like 92, 93, from 91 I have like 50 pairs, different colors.
Crazy.
Yeah. This one is also a classic, the Pegasus from 89. This is incredible, look at the shape. But yeah, unfortunately you cannot wear them. Polyurethane and has hydrolysis, would crack instantly. But well, it's a nice display piece. I mean, polyurethane is not wearable, but if you see EVA, Phylon, it's eternal, lasts forever. You just can have an issue with glue and a separation, but you can restore them, remove all the old glue and glue them again. I think I'm gonna have a problem at the end of the year.
A storage problem, I guess.
But can't stop. I like to have them tidy inside a box. I don't like to have them like many other collectors, like without box, dust, light. I like to have them stored properly.
What's your advice for new collectors?
They welcome, but put some effort. Step up your game. I didn't have any mentor. I just learned by myself, watching other collections, watching other people talk about sneakers. I don't want to throw hate, but anyone can have an Air Max collection from the early 2000s until nowadays. For me it's boring. Open Instagram and seeing all the same collections, all the same. There's nothing new in the table. But the difficult thing is to get these pairs. They're older, harder to get. It's a different way of collecting. I'm not throwing hate. When I see these vintage collectors, I really appreciate they show their pairs and their stories behind it, because each pair has a story.
Let's just close with a very positive note. What are you excited about right now?
I'm excited about this year, new trips. I want to go to the States, met some friends I have and some new ones I've made through Instagram. That's what keeps me excited, getting to know my good friends around sneakers, sharing knowledge, watching collections, trading pairs.
Thanks guys for watching, and share, give us a like, give us your thoughts on the next KLEKT Faces and who else should we interview, you know?
Bye.